Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead. So, for those that managed to catch Capricorn, you will have heard me say that theirs is one of the best spreads that I've seen this week. Yours is probably a close second. It feels really, really good. Again, much like Capricorn, yours seems very, very well matched to you individually. If this set of cards was landing in another star sign, then it wouldn't perhaps work so well. So that's really, really nice to see. I say a lot of that because we start with the Queen of Swords, somebody that really knows their own mind, is able to embrace their own individuality, is not necessarily feeling that they have to prove their way of thinking, their decision making, the results of what they're choosing to anybody else. It's like, well, this works for me. I don't need to convince anybody else of my methodology. I don't need to be dogmatic in any shape or form. And again, this theme will be coming up again and again and again this week. You may feel that, again, some of your choices, some of your decision making, people going, why are you doing that? Why do you want to do that? Surely it's better to do it this way. And you can go, nope, this is what works for me. This is what makes me happy. This is what I'm sticking with. Particularly as we have the Seven of Wands next, about having to find the upper ground at times, or other people wanting to stick their oar in and kind of say, no, you should be doing it like this instead. But again, we've got that with the sun slap bang in the middle of your reading. So the sun, again, when we have the Hebrew letter resh, meaning face or countenance, you will often notice that the tarot depicts the things like the moon and the sun with faces, so that they're living beings, but it's about our individuality, what makes us idiosyncratic, what effectively makes us unique. And again, this is why it works so well in the sign of Aquarius. So anytime that people might kind of question you on things, again, sometimes we do need people going, oh, have you thought about this? We can welcome in the opinions and input of other people when it's asked for most of the time. But if people are saying, well, hang on a second, I don't understand it. What? It's not for you to kind of overly explain. You can just, again, if they want to ask questions for illumination, to kind of bring some awareness and clarity for them, fine, be generous, go ahead, explain. But if they're not necessarily trying to undermine it, but they're trying to kind of push you in a different way that you don't want to go, why bother? Because you've got the Page of Wands and the King of Wands here too. And it's really nice to see that in combination. Again, a lot of that speaks about enthusiasm, about excitement, about projects, wanting to get on with things. And again, you'll notice this running theme with the four cards of the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the King of Wands. They're all holding, well, these wands, except the Queen, but they're all holding this object that they really admire, they really value, they really treasure. So it's about you recognizing your individual traits, what makes you you, what skill sets you have, what mastery you have, your personality, and fully using that and fully embracing that. Have there been times recently that you've been trying to fit yourself into other people's boxes? Has it been square peg round hole? Have there been times where you're going, do you know what, this just isn't working. It's got nothing to do with them. It's got nothing to do with me. It's just a bit of a mismatch. And that's fine. That's okay. And again, I think the more that you're able to embrace that as a truth of going, actually, I can just march to the beat of my own drum. I don't have to fit myself into anything else, particularly when it comes out of force. There are times that we need to compromise and collaborate and make allowances, absolutely, but not when it's coming at the cost of our own individuality. So if those themes start showing themselves this week, just have a think, well, where do I need to readdress the balance? One thing I would also say, particularly with that combination of the Page of Wands and the King of Wands, you've got the kind of neophyte, the person that's starting out is like, oh, I'm excited by this, but he doesn't know quite how to get that out or how to kind of fully express that yet. Whereas the King of Wands does. He is a master of the suit of wands. So he is a master of entrepreneurship, of creativity, of projects, of enthusiasm, knowing how to get stuff done. So that dynamic is likely to play out for you this week, and it's up to you to discern which side of that fence you sit on. So if you're starting something, you're excited about something, you're interested in something, particularly something new that you're developing, be it a new language, be it a project, be it a wood building exercise, be it creating a new piece of music, whatever it is, if you're struggling, what assistance can you pull in? It's really about learning from the masters this week. That's a really nice title, if I do say so myself. A really nice title for that kind of energy. It's like learning from the masters, looking at people that have done it before you and learning from their mistakes and what they do well. So that could be simply as watching YouTube videos to kind of broaden your understanding or your insights around a particular object. Or is there somebody you can go and ask and say, look, I'm really struggling on this. Could you give me a bit of insight, a little bit of guidance on how I could adjust this? Don't be afraid to ask. This is really, really key. If it's in a work situation, do you need to go to your boss? Do you need to go to HR? Do you need to get assistance? This isn't about whinging or complaining, unfortunately. This is much more about, I want to do this and I want to do it really well. I want to do it to the best of my abilities. Could I have a hand? So you might be in that camp. The other camp you might be in is that you're the master. You're the person that holds the keys to the vault of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So how are you going to share that? How are you going to give that to other people? So it's really watching. If anybody needs your assistance and guidance and help this week, don't kind of push them to one side and go, oh yeah, go away, stop annoying me. I'm sure you wouldn't anyway, you lovely Aquarians. But it's about passing on that torch as well, passing on that kind of role and responsibility. So really feel that kind of benevolence of time, that benevolence of that generosity of wisdom and understanding and skill sets. Really lean into that this week. Avoid any thinking of, well, can't have that, that's mine. Then we really start getting into troubled waters. And because you probably find that you'll learn kind of both ways, vice versa. Sometimes when we're teaching, we actually learn so much more. So really try to be aware and conscious of, actually, could I be more generous with my time? Could I be helping people that are working their way through the ranks? Or who do I need to go to help and assist and guide me within this kind of situation, project, or whatever I am trying to achieve? Yeah, there seems to be a big theme around either learning or teaching and a kind of symbiosis of both. But great. And again, that really seems to make sense with the Queen of Swords as well, because she rules the intellect, she rules the mind and the expansion thereof. And yeah, it just feels like a really, really great week for you. And it's not so much about going it alone, as we've spoken about before, but it is about you just kind of looking at what really excites you, what you want to do, what interests you. It's not so much about in relation to other people outside of that kind of example that I gave before with the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. It's kind of, just going off and doing your own thing, really, and not having to answer to others if you want to do that. So I hope that helps. I hope that inspires. I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.